There was a time when open-world games didn't try to be realistic simulations with massive maps and endless systems. Instead, they focused on something much simpler: style and atmosphere. And very few games captured that feeling as perfectly as Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Released in 2002 by Rockstar Games, Vice City took everything that worked in the previous GTA games and wrapped it in one of the most memorable settings in gaming history. A neon-soaked city inspired by 1980s Miami. Palm trees swaying in the wind, sports cars cruising down Ocean Drive, and a soundtrack that instantly transports you back to another era. Even today, more than 2 decades later, Vice City still has an atmosphere that many modern games struggle to recreate. One of the first things that made Vice City special was its world design. The city is heavily inspired by Miami, filled with bright colors, beaches, nightclubs, hotels, and busy streets. During the day the city feels vibrant and alive. But at night, everything changes. The neon lights reflect on wet streets, the music from nearby clubs fills the air, and the whole city starts to feel like something straight out of an 80s crime movie. It's not the biggest open world ever created, but it never needed to be. Every district has its own identity, whether it's the luxury hotels of Ocean Beach or the darker industrial areas of the mainland. Because of that, the world always feels memorable rather than overwhelming. At the center of the story is the game's protagonist, Tommy Vercetti. Unlike many characters in early open-world games, Tommy wasn't just a silent figure the player controlled. He had a strong personality, clear motivations, and a voice that made him feel like a real character in the world. Tommy arrives in Vice City after spending years in prison, sent there by the Vercetti crime family to help establish new operations in the city. But almost immediately things go wrong when a drug deal turns into an ambush, leaving Tommy without the money and with a lot of very angry people expecting answers. From that point on, the story becomes Tommy's climb through the criminal underworld of Vice City. What starts as a mission to recover lost money slowly turns into something much bigger, taking control of the entire city. What makes Tommy interesting is the way he carries himself throughout the game. He's confident, aggressive when he needs to be, but also surprisingly charismatic. Whether he's dealing with gang leaders, corrupt businessmen, or eccentric characters across the city, Tommy always feels like someone who belongs in this world. And because he actually speaks during missions and cutscenes, the story feels much more cinematic compared to earlier GTA games. Over time, you don't just play as Tommy, you watch him transform from someone trying to survive in Vice City into one of the most powerful criminals in the entire city. And that rise to power is one of the things that makes the story of Vice City so memorable. Like other GTA games, Vice City gives players a surprising amount of freedom. You can follow the main story missions, which slowly expand Tommy's influence across the city. Or you can ignore the story for hours and just explore. There are plenty of side activities too. Taxi missions, vigilante missions, ambulance missions, and hidden packages scattered across the city. Small things like these might seem simple, but they gave players reasons to keep exploring the world. You weren't just completing missions. You were living inside the city. One of the coolest systems introduced in Vice City was property ownership. As the story progresses, Tommy can start buying different businesses around the city. From a taxi company to a nightclub, and even a film studio. Each property unlocks new missions and slowly turns Tommy from a small-time criminal into one of the most powerful figures in Vice City. It's a simple system, but it adds a real sense of progression to the game. By the end, the city that once felt dangerous becomes your territory. Of course, it wouldn't be a GTA game without the chaos of its vehicles. Vice City features a wide variety of cars, motorcycles, boats, and even helicopters. From classic sports cars to slow but powerful muscle cars, every vehicle has its own feel. Driving through the city with the sunset in the background and the radio playing might sound simple, but it's exactly the kind of experience that made Vice City unforgettable. But if there's one feature that truly defines Vice City, it's the radio stations. Cruising through the city while listening to songs like Billie Jean by Michael Jackson or Out of Touch by Daryl Hall and John Oates instantly sets the mood. The music perfectly captures the 1980s vibe the game is going for. And because the soundtrack is so strong, even simple moments like driving around the city become memorable. What makes Vice City special even today isn't just nostalgia. It's the way everything works together. The setting, the music, the characters, the world design. Instead of chasing realism, the game focused on creating a strong identity, and that's exactly why people still talk about it today. Even with modern open-world games offering bigger maps and better graphics, Vice City still manages to feel unique. And that's something very few games can achieve. More than 20 years later, Grand Theft Auto Vice City remains one of the most stylish open-world games ever created. A game that didn't just build a city, it built an atmosphere players still remember today. And sometimes, that's exactly what makes a game timeless. If you enjoyed this look back at Vice City, make sure to subscribe for more videos exploring classic games that shaped the industry. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you in the next one, stranger.